Everybody, thank you for joining us as we let everyone pile on in here. Thank you for joining. Like I just said, my name is Adam Fox. I'm one of the free virtual bodyweight exercise instructors here at Connected Community Health Support. Let me just fix my camera just a little bit. As you see, we got my number one fan, Pip, my cat over here, always joining in, always giving us a hey, how you doing? Letting us know she's still feeling all right, even though she's just chilling there. But thank you again for joining. Day number 94 of week 28 of our virtual bodyweight exercise programming. I do apologize. I definitely am a little sidetracked right now. I'm playing some stock, doing some stock playing with my good friend Jacob Carroll. But regardless, that's put aside for right now. Now it is time to work. So, as always, you know our name, you know what we're about. Sorry, I just gotta take the socks off here. We're trying to make exercise more accessible and less, not maybe scary isn't the word, but less stigma filled. So the way we are doing that is by having these free virtual exercise classes. So I need to turn my phone off. I need to get on the interval training and just block it out for a little bit. But saying the whole point of this, we're just trying to, if you're not someone who's really a fan of going to the gym, you don't like this, don't like working out in front of other people, this is why we're doing this for you. Make sure you feel comfortable working out, because we know that you bridge that gap of going from being in a place where you may not feel most comfortable with yourself, with your body, with your image, and or with your weight, and wanting to be able to start a program, but also being resistance, aka the stigmas, resistance of not being able to go to the gym, not having the money to go to the gym, or have a gym membership. Those are big barriers to eliminate here and break down CCHS, so you can defy the odds that are stacked against you of this unfortunate society and hole that you've been put in, as we've talked about a lot before. I'm not going to go too much into that right now. We do have the quote of the day at the end of this, at the end of the stream, and the tidbit this week we're going to be talking as mindset. So we're going to do a little continuation of stress. I'm going to be talking about some tips on ways to make you more resilient to stress. So just some, because it's mindset, it's not going to be too heavy, but we do want to give you some tips, because that's what I feel is the best way to go about this, is to give you actionable items that you can use in your everyday life that are going to help you improve your overall health and wellness, whether it be mindset, nutrition, sleep, all that good stuff. So before we get started, as always, guys, do I need to adjust the camera? No, it should be good. Still going to adjust a little bit. As always, remember, before we get started on any exercise program like this, please make sure you go talk to your physician, get his referral, make sure that everything's A-okay before you get started, just because we want to make you as healthy as possible, but we want you to be at a borderline level of health before you start. I still can't see my face. Before you join the program. So all of that is just a little precautionary stuff. Anything else? Our social media's been a little slow this week, so I do apologize, but we will be posting some more stuff on social media by the end of the week. I'm gonna make some muffins today, some nice healthy oat muffins. Oat muffins. That's a what is it called? Tongue twister. Yeah. So I'm gonna be posting that later at some point, either tomorrow. I'm probably gonna make them tonight, put it up tomorrow. Quarter of the week we missed this week. Do apologize for that, but it's okay. We're still here doing all the exercises with you. So first thing we're going to get started with is the warm-up. So let's get going with the ankle circles here. So remember, you can put your back against the wall and just roll those ankles out. Do 10 on one way and then 10 the other way. And then we're going to switch. So 10 clockwise, 10 counterclockwise, just like this. You hear that clicking? If you're feeling any clicking or popping, as long as it's not painful, it should be okay. I'm saying should, because I'm not a doctor, but of my knowledge of the body, as long as there's no pain with the popping, you should be okay. All right, now we're going to go warm up the knees and the legs, the knees and the hip, the knees and the hamstrings, quads. There's the words I was looking for. So you 10 of these, just try to kick yourself in the butt, just like so. 10, I know I need this today. I did a nice heavy kettlebell set yesterday, which for any athletes out there, anyone curious, and if you're not curious, you can just tone me out right now. Just 1 second. So now we're going to switch to the open and closed gates. So remember, the open and closed gates, we're just bringing the knee up, bring it over like this, bring the knee and leg up. For any of you who are interested, I was reading an interesting study on kettlebells. Because as you've known, if you've joined in before, I'm a huge kettlebell enthusiast, absolutely my favorite. I don't want to say my favorite, but one of my favorite pieces of equipment to use for resistance training. And the study was talking about peak force. And although, all right now, so we're done with that, now we're going to go to T-spine rotations. So they did peak force, jump height, and half squat 1 rep max. In this study, they had individuals do a 6-week program of kettlebell swings, so just kettlebell swings, good old fashioned, between the legs, just like that. So they had one group that did a traditional vertical jump training, so basically just doing depth jumps and other types of plyometric training. And they had the group with the kettlebells just do 2 sessions a week of 12 minutes of kettlebell swings. So I keep on going with that. Now we're done with those. Now we're going to do arm circles, just like this. We can do little guys like this, bigger guys like this, whatever feels best for you guys. So in this study that I'm talking about, they did a 6-week program of 2 days a week of 12 minutes of kettlebell swings. And it was at different weights, at 32 kilograms and 16 and 12, I believe. And they did 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 12 minutes. So a total of 6 minutes of work as a high intensity kettlebell swings. And they showed, in the study, it showed that their peak force increased by about 12%, or so it was 25% total to, I think it was 13% of just the jump training. So now when they did, now we're gonna just slow it down a little bit. Sorry, I'm very energetic today and all hyped up because of all that day trading I was doing with Jacob. But to get to the point of what I'm saying with this whole study is that although it did not increase vertical jump height in the testing, it did increase the overall peak power produced by those athletes using just the kettlebell training. So, and obviously that kind of makes sense a little bit. I'm going to get to this after. I'm talking way too much right now. So now let's go back and forth with the neck. So look one way, look the other, find something on each wall, and just look at it back and forth and back and forth. But it's just an interesting study. It talked about the peak power, like I was saying. It did show increases in peak power that were significantly greater than, that were not significantly greater in the test, although they did have an increase of about 12% on the other group, which sounds kind of weird how it's not significantly different, but what they were using for the analysis, there was a higher level for significant difference. So it didn't count as a significant difference, but it was an increase in overall power. So for those of you athletes, okay, now we're looking down and up. I am all over the place today. I apologize. But for those of you athletes who are looking to increase your overall power, your overall peak power, I would suggest, obviously that's just one cohort study, but doing kettlebell swings at least once or twice a week for about 6 minutes of total work with interval style training is definitely beneficial for athletic development, for power at least. And remember, that is very specific to the movement, but at the end of the day, we must remember that studies, like I said, are specific to whatever cohort and whatever movement they're doing. So we cannot assume that because they increase peak power with kettlebell swinging, they would increase peak power in other movements. So it's just for that movement. But overall, it did increase peak power. So I thought that was an interesting study, and I tried to share it with you. Sorry if that was a little jumbled and confusing, but I did my best. So now we're going to do some neck circles here. Big circles just like this. Or we can do a little bobblehead ones that Jake has shown you guys. I'm not the best at explaining these, so I leave that to Jake. Kind of just like pretend like you're flicking a bobblehead at a diagonal angle and just letting your head rock back and forth. All right, now we're going to get started with the very first exercise. Is going to be reaching to the floor just like usual, starting right now. All right, let me turn my volume up. Remember, today is 35 seconds of work with 25 seconds of rest. We are in the 28th week, So 2 weeks removed from our rest week. So we will get back up to those 45-minute sessions and then the hour sessions in a matter of time. So stick with us here. Remember, we do this, it's all periodized. We do this on purpose to make sure that you guys do not, one, plateau, and two, have a maladaptation, because that is also very possible. Stopping it here in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. Maladaptation basically means when you have a positive adaptation, there's like a curve, like a line to it. So you start here, say this is the line, you go down, you come back up above where you started. A maladaptation is the stress is so high that you go down and you never come back up to where you started. So technically it's a maladaptation. We're not trying to do that to you, so that's why we periodize everything the way we do. Now we're doing alternating reaches and rows. So we're gonna reach, and I just want you to pretend like you're pulling a rope back from here, right? You're down here pulling a rope. If you don't want to bend down as far, you can just reach like this. You can honestly reach at any angle you would like, and just keep on reaching. I kind of like what I'm doing right now. It's just like a ladder almost. You're doing like a reach ladder. You're reaching here, reaching here, reaching here, and then just go back down. Stopping here in 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember that one of the big points of this whole program is it's not supposed to be extremely intense to the point where you're never catching a breath. You're supposed to be moving the entire 30 seconds at a moderate pace. So it doesn't have to be balls to the wall every single 35 seconds, but for every one of these movements, but it just keeps you moving, keeps the blood pumping. That's why it's an aerobic exercise program. Now, alternating raise the roofs, just trying to touch the ceiling. And I know I talked about this last class, but making sure that we are not arching the back here, not going up like this. So even if your range of motion is only right here, that's okay. I don't want you compensating for your range of motion and going way above and forcing other things to compensate that movement. Compensation just meaning that one muscle that's supposed to be doing it is not doing it, and another muscle has to help out, or another joint, or whatever it may be. But all right, and we are done. These are blowing by today. Maybe it's because I'm so caffeinated right now that it's just making it seem like they're going by a lot faster than they are. All right, just 1 second here, making sure my timer. Oh, come here, where are you? There you go. All right, so next one we got is the elbows to knees like this. We can do this on the ground. I'll show you that the second set. First set, I'm just going to show you this, starting in 2, 1, and begin. So remember, bring those knees to your elbows, or your elbows to your knees, whichever one. The farther, so as you can tell from right here, my elbows are nice and tight into me. You know, I almost want you to pretend like you ever seen boxers, how they keep their arms in real tight. That's one way of doing it. Another way is extending, trying to reach. Oh, whoopsies, I'm uncoordinated. Trying to reach your elbow out as far as you can. So trying to touch your elbow almost to the ground. Touch it to the ground, touch it to the ground. You feel a little bit of difference in the lats and the core engagement, just a little bit. Stopping here in 2, 1, and cut it. There we go. Good afternoon, guys. I see a couple people in here. Thank you for joining day 94 of our virtual bodyweight exercise program. Remember, you can go all the way back and start at day 1 if you'd like. I know some people have that preference, and that's totally okay. Because we understand day 94 is not for everybody. All right, now we're doing the squat to press. So remember, we're going to come down, squat, and then press towards the ceiling, just like this. So I want you to have your butt touching the chair. I might cut my head off here. My apologies. Touch the chair, come back up. Touch the chair. Or if you're at the point where you can do a squat without the chair behind you, squat down, press up. Just like this. Keep on going, guys. Stop it here in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. Excuse me. That's all the coffee and everything, I told you. So, for the next one, we have 2 options. We can do the push-ups or the flies. Because we're on a deload week, I wanted the intensity of the chest exercise, the horizontal pressing, to be a little lighter. So we're just going to be doing some flies or some push-ups. Whichever one you would like. We're starting right now. I'm going to start with the push-ups. We're from the knees. Make sure your weight is evenly displaced between your fingers. and palms. Come down, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. 2, 3. And for those of you who have been watching for a couple weeks, days, months, however long, you can tune me out right here. But the reason I'm counting 1, 2, 3 is because 2/3 of your muscle action happens in the lowering or the eccentric phase. So to gain a proper base of strength, we have to make sure. All right, last one there. To make sure that we are developing a base of strength, you need to make sure that your eccentric strength is supported, or your eccentric strength supports your concentric. So you're going to have more muscle activation, which means you need to emphasize more on the control down than the press up. So that's just a little tidbit. Now we're going to the shoulder pulses on the ground, like so, up like this. So you can just do it in this range of motion, but you can also come out to the side like this, like I am, almost similar to like the swimmers, except for pulsating the entire time. Pulsing, pulsating, whichever one you guys want to call it. And a couple more seconds here. And we are done. There we go. Nice. It's a nice return on that stock. Sorry. I'm not doing you guys a good service. I'm not going to look at my stocks anymore. I had to just take a little peek. Jacob Carroll texted me, told me that we have liftoff, so I had to make sure I checked that out real quick. But now we're back to boxing. No more stocking, and let's go. So now, remember, we can be in a staggered stance, which just means one leg is in front of the other. You have more weight on one than the other, but when you do the boxing, it's very common to fluctuate back and forth between weight on the front foot and back foot, so it's all right if you're doing that. Remember, just keep the arms moving. It's not supposed to be a big burn or anything. This is more of one of the more aerobic movements of our program. Honestly, one of my personal favorites, but just because I feel great after. But stopping here in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. There we go. Good job, everybody. Alrighty. I do have to stand here because you guys can't see me if I don't. All right, back to the top. As promised, I'll show you a different variation this time. Instead of just bending down to the floor, we can do the bridges from the floor, starting right now. So remember, lift up and back down, just like so. Want to make sure you have a straight line between your armpits and your knees right here. So meaning that your hips are not arched up like this or down like that. Nice straight line like that. I know you saw how my head changed. It's another good indicator of whether you're doing this right and or wrong is whether your head is up like this or pushed way back into the ground. Should be a little neutral upper spine here. Stop in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. And for those of you who are watching this on Restream right now, if you have a question for us and you can't get it to us because you're watching on Restream, please reach out to us on any of our social medias or even on Twitch. Give us a whisper, whatever you want to do. We want to make sure we're here to help you with any of the questions you have because we understand this can be a very confusing field and confusing time. So please reach out to us. Moving back here to the reaches. So remember, I'm going to start low like this, doing full reach, full reach, full reach. I kind of actually like this a little bit better. So you're pushing and then pulling. So you're reaching all the way out. Grab whatever's in the room with you. Grab it. Pull it to you. And then pull it back. Or then push it away. Pull and push and pull. We're going back down. Remember, if you don't feel comfortable with the movement of the hips and the spine through this movement, all you can do is just reach out like so. Perfect. Good job, guys. Good job, good job, good job. Next one, going to the raise the roofs again. Also, you just made it through the first set. Good job. Give me a high five. It's the only time I'm allowed to clap anymore. I just want to give myself high fives for you guys. Going to the raise the roofs here in 3, 2, 1, and go. And remember, all you're doing is just reaching trying to touch the ceiling. If you can't, that's awesome. But if you can't, that's okay too. So just reach up, reach up, reach up. Keep reaching, keep reaching. So all I want you guys to do is just keep reaching towards the sky. As Michael Jordan would say, the ceiling is the roof. Or whatever he said in that really funny acceptance speech at UNC. Can't remember exactly, but all right, we're done. I don't know if I'm the only one who remembers that or not. It was at some speech he was given at his former college, and it was like a motivational speech before one of the games. He's like, the ceiling is the roof. And I know what he meant to say, but, saying that the sky's the limits pretty much. But it's always funny when someone like that makes a little oopsies like that. All right, back to knee to elbows. I'm going to show you the one from the floor now, as promised, so you can, if you like. I like to hold it for a second because it gives you a little bit more control. Just like this, and then back. 1, 1. I always try to count to at least 1 when I'm holding, or at least a half a second-ish, or as much as you can. Hold and switch, and hold and switch. You're going to try to bring the other elbow down to the ground like this. But if you can't, that's okay too. Remember, you can still do those from the top. As in, from the top, I mean standing, excuse me. Sometimes my words are different in my head than they are when I speak them. AKA, they sound a lot different. All right, back to the squat to press here. Remember, with the chair, all you gotta do is touch the butts of the chair, touch the ground, go back. Touch the ground, touch the ceiling. Even if you can't touch the ground, that's okay. It's just the intent behind it. I want you to try to touch the ground. Just like so. Keep on squatting, keep on pressing. Well, I wish I could show you Pip right now. She's all wrapped up in the curtain. She looks nice and comfy. She's also looking at me like I'm crazy. But that's okay, because I am. All right, and we're done there. Good job. It's crazy how much more of a aerobic exercise this makes it, or talking makes this. Notice some of the days I don't talk a lot. Not very challenging, but now you start talking when you're doing this. Makes it much more challenging on the cardiovascular system. All right, now we're going to switch it up a little bit. So the other ones I was talking about for the pressing, for the horizontal press, hands down, let your hands drop, then catch them. And then touch the fingertips together. Just like so. And it's always good to have a little variety in the movements. Remember, we can do regular push-ups from the wall, or from an incline position, or from the ground. Or you can do these instead if you're trying to switch it up a little bit, like I am. Keep going. Only 3 more seconds here. And we are done. Those used to be my favorite chest exercise when I was younger, but realized that there are better things than just doing chest flies with a lot of weights. So we will move on from that for right now. Going back to the shoulder presses, the shoulder pulses, Remember, you can do these standing too. Just pulse like this. I'm going to be doing from the ground, a little bit different version, because I think this feels better. And the clients that I've used this on says this feels really good too. So just like this. Keep going, keep pulsing those shoulders. Almost done here. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and we are done. Good job, guys. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty. So now we're back to the boxing. So if you were standing on your right foot the first time, I want you to switch to your left foot. You're going to be punching from that instead, starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin. If that didn't make any sense, because I don't think it really did, what I mean by that is I was talking about that staggered stance, how you have your left foot in front or your right. Now my left foot is in front and my right foot is like almost the pivot foot in a sense. So think about it like that. Whichever foot you're getting your power from is it's kind of both actually, depending on how you're throwing your punch. But sorry, I'm confusing myself now even a little bit. All I want you to do is have that left foot in front, right foot in back, throwing those punches, stopping in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. Perfect. And then for the next round with the boxing, for the last round, also, give me a high five, you beautiful people. You made it through 2 rounds, on to the third. Until the floor touches, we are going to be doing kickbacks like this. So 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, doing the same thing. Bring the pillows to the ground. Try and keep that lower back nice and straight, just like you do for the regular hinges, right? This is a hinge pattern, deadlift pattern, whatever you want to call it. Now we're going to switch sides. One side might be a little easier than the other, and that is okay. We are unilaterally dominant creatures in nature. So it is okay if one side is a little harder and or easier than the other. All right, we're done with those. We're flying through these today, guys. Here we go. Back to the alternating row reach. So all you're doing really is reaching out, pulling back. But what I'm doing is just putting a little emphasis on coming across body like this. So you can do whichever way you want. All of us are starting here in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So remember what I was saying, all you're doing, if you don't want to do that, you're just reaching and rowing like this. I want you to pretend like you're grabbing a rope or something at the end. Get a little bit of twist in the arm. You do not have to do what I'm doing now, because this is more of the advanced, so to speak. If you want to just do bent over, reaching and rowing, you're going to get the same thing out of it. Either way is totally fine with me. Even if it wasn't fine with me, it doesn't matter, because you're the ones working out, not me. Stop it in 2, 1, and cut it. What I mean by that is obviously I'm working out, but I'm doing this for you. So if you don't want to do one of the movements I have, I always try to give you an alternative, because I feel as if we are the buffet of movements. You get to come in, pick what you want, and then you get to leave. We don't have to force feed you anything you don't want. So speaking of that, back to the raise the roofs. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So for this one, the only real variation we have here is to just go a little bit shorter. I know I was just talking about variations. Overhead pressing is kind of one of the ones where it's hard to substitute a pattern with unless we start making a full body movement. Like we could do like the squat to press or the clean to press, either or. But we're just going to do this for right now because I think this is a really good shoulder workout. And it makes you feel good too. Get to see how tall you really are. Reach to that ceiling, right? Reach, reach, reach. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. All right, only a couple more, and then we get the quote of the day, the tidbit, and all that good stuff. So remember those tips. Stick around for those tips, because even I, in researching this, realized that these are some tips that I could use myself. So make sure you stick around for those. Elbows to knees. We can do the crunches on the floor or standing. I'm going to do the standing starting in 2, 1, and begin. Just like so. Bring that elbow. Bring the knee to the elbow. Whichever cue works better for you, elbow to knee or knee to elbow. Keep going here, guys. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Only got 15 more seconds here. Bring it up, bring it up. Keep bringing that knee to the elbow. Come on, guys, power through, stopping in 3, 2, 1. And cut it. There we go. Good job, guys. Whoo! We only have 4 more. I almost can't count, but 4 more, and then we're out of here. So I'm going to challenge you not to use the chair this time if you can. Don't use the chair. Just squat down to your lowest depth that you feel comfortable without thinking you're going to fall, and then touch the ceiling. Ready? Starting in 2, 1, and go. So come down, up, Keep on going, keep on going. Remember, if you can only go down this far, that's okay too. You're working within your range of motion. That's what we're big on here. CCHS is working within your own range of motion and not trying to copy what I'm doing to a T. Then we are done. Not trying to copy who you're working out with, who you see working out, because your range of motion is not going to be the same as anyone else's. So just remember that, guys. Don't try to copy someone else with their range of motion. Work within what feels best for you, and you'll get there. I promise. All right. Now we're going to do the push-ups for this last set. We did the flies in the middle. Now we're going to do the push-ups starting here in 2, 1, and go. So remember, hands spread out, fingers spread out nice and far. Coming down 1, 2, 3, and back up. Remember that eccentric is important. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. You know, I'd be yelling at myself if I was coaching. If I was coaching myself, I'd be yelling at myself. Those seconds are way too fast. 1, 2, 3, and back up. 1, 2, 3, and back up. Yep. So just like that, that's what I want to see, what I want you guys to see yourselves doing. Is slowly coming down for 3 seconds, then pushing up. And I should have demoed the one where you have your feet fully extended. You come down eccentrically on your knees, on your feet, and then push off from your knees. I'll show that next workout. But now we're back to the shoulder pulses, starting now. And also, as you can probably hear, breathing through this exercise is very important. So make sure you're breathing in the nose, out of the mouth, or just in the nose, out of the nose, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and we are done. There we go. All right, for the last one. So I'm going to challenge you guys. What I want you to do, get in that nice bilateral stance so feet are even with each other. You're not going to have one in front of the other like I do right now. First, 20 seconds, nice and light. Last 15, everything you got. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So nice and light right now, nice sustainable pace. Don't want to tire yourself out yet because you're giving me everything you got here when there's 15 seconds left. Keep on pressing. Keep on pushing. Keep on punching. In 3, 2, 1. Now give me everything you got, guys. Come on. As fast as you can, as controllable, fast and controllable as you can. Come on. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop it in 3, 2, 1, and cut it. Woo, there we go. Let me high five, guys. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Woo, that's feeling a little more tough now, isn't it? Well, yeah, when I'm talking the whole time, it does feel a little more tough. Did I miss one? Nice, I didn't miss one. Let's go into the cool down here now, guys. So first thing we're going to do, as always, shake out those arms. Shake them out. I know you probably seem and feel like you're looking goofy right now. It's because you are, and that's okay. It's okay to feel goofy. Just shake from the fingers and the wrists first. Fingers, wrist, and then go elbows. Elbows. Like so. Shake from the shoulders. Just kind of want you guys to experience new sensation in your arms and hands, and eventually your legs. And this even kind of radiates into your chest too. So just shake everything out. Shake over here. And there is good research behind this. I mean, with a kettlebell, but there is good research behind this. Shaking is good for not just proprioception, but also for vascularity. So, AKA, sorry, my nose is itching crap on me. Sorry. Vasculation is in vasodilation, so get some good blood flow to the areas that you're shaking. Now let's do it with the legs. We just stepped in the puddle. I got cat hair in my nose. Now shake your leg out, just like this. We can do it behind ourselves. Shake from the knee, shake from the hip, shake from the toes. Almost like you're kicking a soccer ball really, really fast. That's one of the better ways to describe it, I guess. A couple more seconds here, then we're going to switch feet. Now we're going to the left foot, step in that big puddle. Now shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, I keep on almost falling. Remember, and Mr. Wall is always your friend, so if you want to do this near a wall, that's okay too. So I understand that sometimes this will make you a little unbalanced, uneven, so to speak. And okay, now we are done with those. Let's get some breathing on, guys. So, in the nose, out of the mouth, try to be as quiet as you can. Inhale for 3 seconds, exhale for 6.
Activity completed.
Thank you, Siri. All right, perfect. So great job today, guys. Let's get going on this quote of the day and the tidbits. I got some good stuff for you today, some good information. So thank you for sticking around and listening to me. I know sometimes I'm hard to bear. At least that's what my girlfriend tells me. But I know I talk a lot, so if you guys ever want to tune out, I totally understand. But this is some really good information that I think will help everyone combat stress a little bit better and react to stress, because that's really what resiliency is how well you react to stress, and then what is your coping mechanisms with it, right? So, and Jacob talked all about that on Tuesday. I know that. I briefly discussed it on stream. I know I talked about resiliency, exactly what it meant, but now I'm going to go a little deeper into resiliency today. So just sorry, I'm trying to figure out all this stuff I have in my background. Nope, I don't need that. All right, where? My apologies, guys. I'm trying to find this right now. There it is. Okay, so as always with this, I want to give you guys tips and ways to improve your resiliency, right? Like I don't want to just tell you about what it is and then have you guys, oh well, what do I do with that? So I'm going to give you five little tips, 6 little tips here. So one of the best ways is, as I talked about on Monday, is that resiliency impacts multiple levels of health and wellness. So multiple pillars. So your relationships, your nutrition, your sleep, your mindset, finances, everything that we talk about here is related. So the first thing is making sure you're connected and you have strong and positive relationships with your friends, loved ones, and so that in a time of need or support, you know that you have someone to be there for you through the good times, through the bad. If you are someone who is spiritual and someone who believes and is faithful, not faithful, but someone who is spiritual and or religious, making sure that you have important connections into your religious life and your spiritual community. So making sure if you go to church that you have those open, the phone, the numbers you can call of people that are there for you, that you can talk to at whatever time, just to make sure that you know that someone's there for you. Because that's really one of the most important parts. So, and to overview that, making sure that when you're really down, you have someone you can go to that's not going to judge you, that's going to listen to you and not make you feel as ostracized and make you feel as if you're crazy for having these feelings. Also, something that I've been trying to do more often is make every day meaningful. So making sure that, and we can go back to setting goals and writing out to-do lists for the day, making sure you have things that you want to accomplish that day. It's going to give you a sense of purpose. It's going to give you that dopamine kick that we talked about before. Once you finish one thing, you're going to want to continue to do more and finish more. So that's another really good thing. making sure you're setting goals and then scratching them off when you achieve them, and making sure that there's future meaning to those goals, right? That's where SMART goals comes in, which I know we've talked about in the past. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So making sure all of your goals align with those 5 things, and that's kind of like a groundwork for how to set up a SMART goal. Also, something I need to do with my stock trading, I'll learn from your experience. So think about the last time that you had something very detrimental, you had something that really threw you off mentally and caused you a lot of stress. How'd you react to that? Did you do well? What skills did you use? Did you use good strategies and skills? How could you have changed those strategies and skills for the next time or for the time that's now happening, so you could improve your ability to react to that stress response, right? So and then this is another thing we've talked about before, is journaling, but writing out, no more specific than just journaling, but writing out, say you have this bad experience or this bad day. What were the control strategies you used, the coping strategies? Did they work? And if they did work, how did they work? Was it positive? Or what was the positive aspect? And also, if there was any negative aspects of it, what were those? And writing those down can help, because it helps you not just get them off your chest. Writing is a great way to do that, but also it's putting it into stone. So you get to see it, and it's more of a reflection. You get to reflect on it more when you see it written. Also, being hopeful, understanding that the past is the past, right? This is something I deal with myself as well. Trying to just leave things in the past and understand that you can only affect the future now. So accepting the things that have happened in the past and anticipating the future changes and anticipating what can be done in the future to make sure that you don't have that negative experience or whatever happened in the past, it doesn't happen again. So right now we have to remember, all right, I'm just doing a little recap. Stay connected with a strong social support. Make sure that you're writing down what you're doing and you have a purpose for each day. Learning from how the way you've reacted to stress in the past was either good or bad. Remaining hopeful. Remember that the past is the past. You can change the future, but you must accept the past is the past, and that the future is not going to be the past, right? The future is the future. Now, the last 2 I got here for you. This one's kind of almost like a gimmick. When I was writing this down, I was thinking, this is a good one, but making sure you're taking care of yourself. Do things you enjoy. Go out, do your hobbies. Make sure you're doing things that, obviously, aside from just getting physical activity and fitness and all that good stuff, I'll preach to you all day about that. But making sure that you're going out and doing things that actually that you enjoy, right? It's a great way of stress management and a great way to relax if you can find something that not only you enjoy, but also benefits you physically and or mentally. So whether that be, doing, I don't even know, maybe some yoga or just working out or going for a walk, any of these things, playing your drums, going fishing, any of these things that brings you joy that can also help relieve stress. And then the last thing, I am someone who really I will be 100% honest with you guys. I love you and I like to be honest with you. I'm someone who needs to get better at this. Don't ignore your problems. Instead, react first. React quickly instead of reacting once everything has already came to fruition in a sense. Once everything's already panned out and now the negative things are happening, you have time in the beginning, if you understand it's a problem, you recognize it, to then address it instead of letting it slide and then it becoming a larger problem. So that's a really huge one. Remembering you can improve your situation, but you must understand it's a negative situation first and that you're having a problem. So, all right, that's what I got for you guys today. Remember, the strong social relationships to be connected. Make sure you're doing something that's meaningful and you have a purpose and you accomplish that purpose every day. You're learning from your past experiences, growing upon them, reflecting upon them, writing them down, whatever you want it to be. Remaining hopeful, making sure that you remember you can change the past. You can't change the past, only the future. Take care of yourself. Go do things that you enjoy, because what is life if you're not going to enjoy it? Like, I know I'm kind of being a little cynical, but you need to enjoy life. And then be proactive. Don't ignore your problems. Understand you have a problem and try to address it sooner rather than later. But that is, the quote of the week. How did I forget? Almost forgot the quote of the week. Quote of the week: great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. And that just ties in perfectly to everything I just said to you guys. So on that note, I'm going to go make some amazing muffins and whatnot. So I'll post that up on the Instagram probably tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy the stream as always, and stay happy, stay healthy. And I'm Adam Fox, checking out CCHS Live Virtual Extra.